Wi-Fi out. Um, it is done. Just got back to the hotel now. Um, Ivan C, good to see you, man. Vite, good to see a bunch of you in here. Just got back. King of the Table 5 is done and dusted. Um, Paz says, called it. AJ says, well done, thank you, man. Yeah, I had a blast. I had a blast. Got the result done. Obviously, as we saw, Richard Gen X, good evening, bud. Hope all is well. Congratulations. Thank you very much, man. Don Morgan, blue. Good to see everybody in here. Can only say bravo, says Ferguson Berrick. Thank you very much, man. Canberra Arm Wrestling says, sup, bro. Tim Pipe on your Tim, mate. Says, brother Grouse. Tim Pipe, you've always been a massive supporter, man. So thank you very much for your continued relentless support. Nice work, says Dave. 4-0, bro. Yeah, man. Um, Mario Hardy, oh my God, Ryan Day versus Vitali. I'm speechless. Yes. What a match that was. How good was that? One of the best matches I've seen forever. Amazing. Connor, nice job. Do you think you would have beat him fresh? That's the big question. That's the big question. Would I have beat him fresh? Look, I think I've pretty much guaranteed that we get to find out. I had a great time here this weekend with Core Sports, not only as a competitor but as an athlete, and I did a lot of promotional work for them, putting together marketing, videos, and all sort of stuff. So I think I'm pretty convinced I'm going to get an invite back. Khaled is super keen. That was the first question he asked me afterwards was, would I be interested in a fresh versus fresh match? And I said, absolutely, yes, sir. So I think we will get to find out. Yeah, awesome stuff. I got a super chat in from Darko. You just got some fire, some arm wrestling, and some love. Thank you very much, Darko. You're the man. I really appreciate it. So many comments in here, guys. I'll try to keep up with them. If I see super chats, I'll jump on you guys. But yeah, well done. Thank you, man. Thank you. You smashed the big boy, says Fearless Legend. Thank you, man. Um, Connor, nice job. Good on you, Ryan. Well done, Ryan. Hopefully this helps you mentally even more. Yeah, mentally, Richard Jennings, I feel really good. I feel really good. I I've found a rhythm of how I like to approach a match, and I hit the same rhythm tonight as I did when I faced Bogdan Stoker. I took the same mental approach. I took the same physical approach. Obviously, I'm the biggest I've ever been. The 106.4 well-fed, dressed version of me was what weighed in, and it was crazy. Um, Greg Davis says, fantastic. Ryan, great job. Thank you, man. Tendons on BTD. It's pretty cool when Ryan actually gets to prove everyone wrong. True underdog. Yeah, man, it's fun. Like I just love this story. I love the journey, and yeah, it's been a funny couple of years, but it is nice to get victories on the board. Obviously, victories are much more enjoyable than defeats, and getting the victory tonight was um it was good. It was good, man. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. Khaled, I have nothing but respect for him. I think he's truly one of the most amazing athletes that I've witnessed. What he did with Schoolboy was amazing. And feeling his hand and feeling his arm strength, he is phenomenally strong. I just got to be honest, the dude is really strong. The way I got victory tonight was really by achieving what I said I would. I think that in the press conference and all that, a lot of us we were talking about the battle of delusions and all that sort of stuff, and I actually think that we both walk away from this one with neither of us really being delusional because we both achieved and both essentially lived and fulfilled what we said would happen in a lot of respects. His performance against Schoolboy was amazing. I didn't expect him to be able to beat Schoolboy. I think Schoolboy was the favorite in most people's eyes, and Khaled was simply too strong, genuinely too strong for Schoolboy. He took him away and controlled his hand, he prevented him being able to slip, and outlasted him in position when Schoolboy was doing so many things right, technically. Um, Khaled had the endurance and the ability to transition to a press. So it was very impressive what he did. And in the same sense, there was no delusion from me in that I was able to defeat him as I said I would. I said I'd defeat him to zero. I did. I said that I'd be able to do it through technique, and I led that. Round two was the one where I was going for the dad move that I said that I was going to do. I could have pinned him. I was in complete control, and you'll see there was that moment where I was like looking at him. I was waiting for eye contact and all that sort of stuff. And there was that point there where I could have finished the match, but I thought no. I said I was going to dad move him. I'm going to do it, and I was just sliding down his wrist, waiting for him. And I was planning on pinning him like right in front of me, like right in the center table kind of thing, just jamming down um, after sliding down his wrist a bit. It was all going well. It was all on track until his endurance, the man's endurance through his arm, is really, really tremendous. And it was that point there that I realized, oh no, my hand's starting to go. Now, without a strap to lean on and drag with your lats, it was the hand starts to go, and I had to retreat to center, and at that point, I could feel that my hand was going to go. If I stayed and committed to an attempted hook, it was going to be something that was not going to work out. And it was going to be something that it would have resulted in him pinning me. So I had to retreat to center, and then I had to wait for him um, to go and make an attempt to pin. And when he did make an attempt to pin, I would be able to pronate and slip. So I went for that, pulled it off. They fouled me, so we didn't go to straps. Then I knew from then that I didn't have the energy or endurance to dad move him. So I then just went back to, all right, quick kill. And the real critical difference was my wrist rise was better than his. Because my wrist rise was better than his, I had the ability to control his hand um, outside of the strap. My I never went in with a game plan of getting to the strap. I always intended on holding on to him and taking a deep grip. Um, my thoughts were don't fight a losing battle. And I made the assumption that if I tried to fight his wrist flexion, that it would have been a losing battle. If I tried to go high and try to take his wrist, that it would have been a losing battle. So instead of going for that, what I did was I pronated and I gripped low. I gripped low enough that even my objective was to grip low enough that if he did bend his wrist, that it wouldn't affect my pronation, that my pronation would be somewhat still connected underneath his wrist flexion. And so, whilst he was wasting his time trying to bend his wrist, thinking that there'd be value there, he actually didn't take anything away from me when he did it. And so, while he was bending his wrist and looking for that, I was already going sideways and taking him out of his shoulder. Uh, to which he would then respond, and then I could rise and take his hand. And it pretty much went that way. It was quite smooth, and I felt in control. He tried to slip me, funnily enough, in round three. He set up and he was bailing. He didn't want to hold on, and I held on to him, and I forced the control. So I could sense that in him. I could sense that he was recognizing that he couldn't keep up with my hand and wrist at that point, and so he was then trying to bail, but I just didn't allow him to. It's quite ironic that of all the things that happened, it was me who was preventing him from slipping in the end, and then round four, yep. Again, I recognized that I didn't want the strap. It was just bang, get it done, take his wrist, and get the job done. Um, it was a pity round five and round six, obviously, just too sore, too blown up, as I said he would be in the press conference. I said he would really need to um, that he would really need to come to terms with what it is to do two super matches. It's a hard task, and I take nothing away from him. I leave with only respect because I think what he did against Schoolboy was so significant, um, and I and I'm certainly honoured and grateful to pull him again, fresh, fresh, fresh. So yeah, Connor, thank you very much. Says man, you deserve the credit, Blue. You handled it very well. Thank you, man. The Goat Mara says Ryan, great victory, better than Schoolboy. Look, and those are questions that people will say now. By no means is me beating Khaled tonight an indicator that I'm better than Schoolboy. That's just not the right assumption, not the right conclusion to make. It's an odd circumstance. They had a great match. Khaled. The only certain thing is that Khaled defeated Schoolboy. The only other certain thing is that I defeated Khaled after he had the wear and tear on him. So there are many questions that need to be asked. I'm sure Schoolboy will be back, and Khaled has really reserved the right to pull me first. Um, but maybe there is a match for me and Schoolboy there in the future as well. I would love to face him. Yeah, good stuff. Now let's have a look a bit more at the comments. Let me see. I think there's a super chat in here. Mm-mm. Tendons on BTD. He says, I really appreciate you reading that comment. Which comment? Sorry, man. And taking the time to respond. I was thinking about when you beat Chance and when you managed to take down a few others who couldn't even respect you. Yeah, man. Like, respect is a funny thing. It's a respect is a thing that is earned through time and consistency and patience and I've had to. If I reflect on my last few years, I really did. I just ran out of patience in my own humbleness. I was so committed to being able to prove myself that because of the frustrations of not being able to travel and compete, I was just. Yeah, I think I reflect on it and I see myself as running out of patience and I lacked the ability, the humility and being humble was something that I didn't do well. Um, and I took that loss and Ray, credit to him, he deserves every bit of it. That victory is all his. It taught me lessons, and one of the lessons was just to let my arm wrestling do the talking, to be patient and not rush the need to prove myself, and just yeah, move on from there. So I did that. Um, Robert Gould just said Engen just said he's going to offer you a match at one of East versus Next West events. Yeah, Robert Engen's already messaged me and offered me a match. I can't say who because um, he was organizing dates and stuff, but he's already done it. I'll let him make mention of who it is, but it's someone at 105 kilos. I'll tell you that. Man, thank you to everyone who is pressing the like button, all that sort of stuff. A whole bunch of you guys in here, 305, awesome stuff. Hey, there's a super chat here somewhere. I got to find it. Kirsten Prodigy, there you are, brother. €5. Thank you, man. It says you are not just an arm wrestler, Ryan, but an amazing commentator. Hats off. It was a hell of an event, and the main event was wow, man. Thank you, Kirsten Prodigy. I really appreciate that, man. I love the sport in so many respects, and commentary is one of those respects that I think is awesome. It was fantastic being side by side with Coach Ray. First time I've commentated directly with him, and I really did genuinely enjoy that. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, man, what a main event it was. Phenomenal. I have to say, probably the best match I've seen for heart. Um, Vitaly Leletin was lying on the floor, needing a medic afterwards. Like that's how exhausted he was. I think he is even just precautionarily went off with the medics afterwards just to make sure he's good. They left nothing on the table. There was blood everywhere. There was commitment to techniques and styles that was so good to see, and technical adjustments everywhere. One of the most memorable matches in arm wrestling. I think it'll be lodged in history as one of the all-time best matches for just simply effort and heart that was put in by both men. Because I know Dave's been emotional leading up to this match, and I could see it in Vitaly's face as well that he was truly emotional about everything, and it was special to see two men who have given so much to the sport, given so much time, energy, and effort, fighting so honorably like that. It was amazing, and I spoke to Dave afterwards, and he was in such a good, happy space, and it was so beautiful to see. And like I said, Vitaly is literally lying on the floor with ambulance officers. He was okay, he was good, but he was lying on the floor. He was that spent, and like I said, I believe he went off precautionary with them just to make sure he's good. So there was nothing left from either of these guys. One of the simply the best matches I've ever seen ever. And yeah, and Kirsten, thank you for that super chat, man, as well. I got to add, Jake Ward, Aussie arm wrestler. How good was he? If you were watching the pay-per-view, you saw it. I couldn't be happier for my buddy. Jake is one of the best dudes I've ever met in my life. He's so generous with his time, with his energy, with his money. He does everything for everyone. He puts other people first consistently, and he works tirelessly. He's one of the most talented people I've ever met. His effort tonight as the MC of King of the Table was just phenomenal. Everyone in the room, people I had people coming up to me in the room whilst he was doing his thing, saying, "How the hell does he do this? Is this scripted?" I'm like, "No, this is off the top of his head." Jake is just a killer. He's that talented. So, Jake, if you're watching, man, or I think he even might be live. I don't know, but Jake, well done, brother. I was so again honored to be here. I've seen you rise, and the thing I like most about Jake is that he has worked as hard as he does now every day for years since he's been doing this. And he did it when no one was watching. And that's why he got the job because he did it when no one was watching. He refined his craft. He pushed forward, leant into it. He's talented, and the right people noticed him in the end. And now he got to prove to those right people exactly how talented he is. And I would guarantee it. I'll bet $1 million on it that Jake is back at King of the Table and emceeing again because phenomenal stuff. All right, a lot of comments. I got a super chat here from Zed's guitar account, $5 US. He said, "I placed my first ever stake on you, Ryan. So thank you." Yes, that makes me happy. Was going to place more, but that second block sold out quick. Congrats, man. Yeah, look, hey, if you're one of the people that did stake on me, congratulations. It's nice to finally give you guys the reward for predicting me to win. I gave you a fair, a couple of losses prior with Lachlan and then with Ray and all that sort of stuff. So it's good that I've given given you a win. But well done, Zed's Guitar Count, and thank you for sharing some of your winnings there in a super chat, man. You are awesome. Good stuff. Ryan versus Dennis. So there's a comment there. I'm actually tomorrow morning at 10:30, so it's like 3:30 a.m. or something here right now. But tomorrow at 10:30, so not far away, I will be doing a podcast with Dennis, with the Strong Cast crew, Mark Boyd. I'll be doing a nice detailed podcast with Dennis, and I will endeavor to grip up with Dennis as well after that. And then I'm gripping up with Larry. I've actually already gripped up with Larry. The first day that I was here, I gripped up with Larry and pulled with Larry, slow pulled with Larry, and you'll get to see that. So for everyone wondering, I slow pulled with Larry, and in those slow pulls, I beat him 3-2 when it was just fresh, and it was just slow entry in the hook and all that sort of stuff. I was able to beat him. If I stayed in his lane, he was able to get pins, but if I derailed or used any sort of initiation, it was fairly comfortable. But that video will come out, but that video was timed like 4 or 5 days ago. So I'm not sure if they'll release that footage because it's now kind of like the things we were saying and that were different. But we're gonna grip up tomorrow, like 1:30 p.m. I'll grip up with Larry and a whole bunch of people. So my arm will be trashed. I'm pretty sore right now, even though I got the victory. I am pretty sore. Carlo did still make me work. Defending center with my elbow did add up. So yeah, TH comes in with a super chat. Thank you, TH. 129 check something or others, I reckon. But thank you, man. No comment from you, but look, I really appreciate the support, TH. It means the world to me that I get to call this a career, and you guys super chatting and all that makes a difference. And I wanted to thank every one of you that was in the pay-per-view. Um, that really meant a lot to me. Like the sport is, I'm very passionate about growing the sport, and what's going to grow it most is the team of people. And now, look, I've been part of the WAL, I've been part of Arm Wars, I've been part of PAL, I've been part of East vs West, and now I've been part of King of the Table. I've competed in all of them. I've competed in WAF as well. Yeah, I think I've competed in all of them. And honestly, look, what I wanted to say about King of the Table and Core Sports is that I actually think that they have the best production that I've personally witnessed. And prior to today, I would have said WAL, but there was a lot about Core Sports and King of the Table that really blew my mind. And it started when we just arrived, when we just first of all turned up. The digital billboards, the red carpet, the fancy cars, the the setup was really amazing. Camera wise, visually wise, they've done a phenomenal job, and it's very special. The only thing that I'd say that they're still working on is the crowd. The local crowd isn't like that WAO crowd, but it's a work in progress, and it's amazing. Overall, I'd say they're doing a phenomenal job. So I wanted to thank everybody who paid for tonight's event. There were a lot of people that were illegally streaming it, and a lot of people I know that had the copyright crews just working overtime all night trying to take down illegal Facebook streams and illegal this, that, and the others and all that. So I wanted to really thank the people that did the right thing and did the pay-per-view because you guys are critical to the sport growing. You guys are critical to me being able to call it a career. So thank you for those guys who did that. Anders Wallen with 100 SEK super chat says, I knew you would win, Ryan. Congrats. How did Khaled feel? Was he still strong after his fight with Schoolboy? I'm surprised that he managed to beat him, to be honest, but he must have been gassed out for sure. Yeah, and thank you very much for the super chat and the support. Look, Khaled felt amazing in terms of it was actually how he felt was super similar to Marcus Atirai in Brisbane. And when I say super similar, he had an incredibly strong arm even when it was opened up. So even when I was in control of his pronation and had my shoulder line committed and was holding center, uh, even in the open arm position, it was very difficult to finish. And that is something that I've experienced with Marcus Atirai over and over and over again in Brisbane. And I said to Lachlan afterwards, I said it literally felt like arm wrestling Marcus. And like it was like 90% the same as arm wrestling Marcus. So I guess thank you, Marcus, for all the time and experience that I've had with you back home. And yeah, what else was there? You said, was he still strong after his fight with Schoolboy? Yeah, you could see that he was still strong. Look, the critical difference in the fight that made it possible for me to go on and win was that my wrist rise was better than his. Because my wrist rise was just a touch ahead of his, it allowed me to control the hand and wrist. And I took the strategy of not trying to take his wrist, but trying to control his wrist. So because my wrist rise was better than his, it allowed me to dictate where the lanes were. And that was really all I needed. From there, it was just control and steer the ship. His strength was real. I could feel that. And he asked me afterwards what I did to him, how I defeated him because he still felt like he was strong. And I said, "Yeah, look, I explained what I did, and I kind of reiterated it to him, and I said, look, you really do have the strength, Khaled, and you really do have the potential to be phenomenal in the sport. But I hope that he walked away from this not as." But some people think that Khaled's delusional from this. No, he didn't walk away delusional because he proved that he has enough strength to defeat Schoolboy, just not enough strength to defeat me as well. And what I hoped that he would walk away with was the acknowledgement that there's more to the sport than he had realized. Um, and I hope that he develops the healthy obsession with the sport that it takes. Like when we look at the true best arm wrestlers in the world, it isn't enough to just be strong. They have to be super technical as well, and they have to strive constantly, daily, every time they pull to be better. And when I spoke to him, and he said, "Ah, so I just need more experience," and I said, "No, not just starts." I said, "You don't need starts." I said, "You need the obsession." I said, starts without the obsession won't get you there. You need starts with the obsession to discover why it is that you need to be in a certain position. You need to be able to read positions faster than your opponent. If you can read positions faster than your opponent and make these subsequent adjustments, you get the advantage of being in a position that adds leverage to your strength, that amplifies your strength. And so that's what I really explained to him, and I hope that he goes away with that because he is someone who is genetically gifted. I can feel the strength in his hands. It's huge. His bones are thick and dense, and his wrist is enormous, and he's got a set of tools that are just truly phenomenal. And if he could harness the obsession of the technical side, then he would become a truly, truly, truly high level arm wrestler. But he has some way to go, and I hope that I've pushed him in the right direction. And yeah, we'll face again. Hey, King Jeff with a $2 Canadian super chat. He says it was well worth the pay-per-view money. Thank you so much, man. Good stuff. Performance enhancing pancake says, "Out of kid Ryan, crushed it. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support." E&E, nice. Yeah, despite being out of shape, Dennis is incredibly strong, well above Ryan. Yeah, Dennis, I'm sure is well above me. I got to shake his hand, and you could feel the width in his hand. The most obvious and immediate sensation you get when you grip Dennis is that his hand is thick, and his wrist is wide, and you can feel the integrity of the joint. That's just the overwhelming thing. So I will get to pull with Dennis tomorrow, so that we'll see how that goes. I just want to train with him. I don't want to sit there and try to pin him or anything like that. I'll give it my best, but I'd much prefer to just get like I will ask him and see if we can get like 5 to 10 minutes of time under tension where I just feel what it is to train with him, and just work and just learn from Dennis. I don't want to go out trying to obtain an attempted pin or something like that. Um, yeah, what else we got? Let's have a look. T Nelly, the change in this match analysis will be quite different and full of excuses after your rematch when he's fresh. Who's gonna have the excuses? Me, man. I'm not gonna have excuses. I go through every match with every loss that I'll take. There's no excuses. It's like I said. You've just heard me talk about technicalities in arm wrestling, and whether you win or lose, acknowledgement of the technicalities and the subsequent chains that break down and cause those technicalities to become relevant to a pin is really part of the process. That's what I was talking about with the obsession. So I have zero excuses anytime I defeat or am defeated. My excuses are not excuses. What they are when you lose is acknowledgement of critical defeats that caused a loss, and subsequently identifying those critical areas that can be improved for the future. So, yeah, if you're on that side of the camp still, you go enjoy your little salty tears for a while, and I'll just keep on moving on. Okay. Ryan, you get plowed fresh for fresh. Fair enough, man. You can have your opinion. The color doesn't seem to think so. He thinks it'd be a great match. So, a lot of salty tears in here. I'm looking at the comments. Oh, you guys do you think? Yeah, we will battle fresh. I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure King of the Table 6 will get the invite. I would love to face Khaled fresh. Give him that opportunity. Yeah. Thank you for all the comments that I'm seeing in here. Lots of supportive comments as well. I'm just flicking through. There's so many comments. Um, yeah. Dadakan did look pretty injured after. I don't know what exactly his injury was, but we'll get there. Ben Smith, $1.99. After pool footage, can't wait. I didn't get any after pool footage. I didn't pull it all tonight. I am, like I said, I'm doing a podcast with Dennis tomorrow, and I'm pulling with Larry at 1:30. So I got to pull Dennis and Larry tomorrow. So I need to have some degree of healthiness in my elbow if I can manage it. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who is congratulating me and all that sort of stuff. Uh, yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, just scrolling through the comments. Jason Thornborough says it was a great match, Ryan. I expected the outcome. He's never been flashed and a total different feel. Ignore the haters sitting on their mum's couch. Yeah, man. And the flash pin was something that I was after tonight. It was the same sort of thing that I did to Larry. Was the flash pin, and it's something that you can do again when people are technically not as proficient because they're vulnerable to the sudden changes. It's the combined sum of changes of direction that really overwhelm them. The leading wrist threat with pronation combinations, followed by chopping and side pressure, all happening within a quarter of a second. It kind of overwhelms their ability to neurologically respond to it. So that worked out really nicely. Jack the Ruse with an 8.99, 8.99 pounds. You're the man. It says the commentary with Ray was the best I've ever heard in an arm wrestling event. Enthusiasm plus articulacy plus expertise equals clapping hands. Man, thank you very much. I really did genuinely enjoy the commentary with Ray. It was wonderful. Ray and I are great friends. Rivalries at the table, we're great friends, and it was an honor to work with Ray, not only in the commentary box, but throughout the week in the build up to the event. Ray and I, we brainstormed a lot on marketing for the event. We created a lot of content together, and we were really supportive of everything that was going on, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah. Thank you for everyone who's saying kind words about the commentary. Good stuff. For people saying that Khaled's making excuses, he didn't make any excuses to me. He took it on the chin, and like you said, he came up to me humbly afterwards and was asking how I defeated him. He wanted to learn. He wanted me to show it to him, so I did, and we went from there. But yeah, definitely, he was a nice dude. He was humble, and very full of respect, and he very humbly asked if I would be interested in facing him again. And yeah, and I of course said yes, absolutely. John Boy, US dollars, $5 says, awesome victory. I thought you were in trouble after Schoolboy lost, but what a surprise. Best outcome from a story perspective, I think. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where things go. Like I said in the post match, um, I'd like to just let the arm wrestling world decide who I'd like to face. Engen's offered me a match at 105 kilos. And we'll see. I'll wait for Engen to mention that, and depends on if different events come through with dates and all that sort of stuff. But there's been mention of a match. I just would like the arm wrestling world to be able to steer the ship for a bit and tell me who they would like me to face. I feel great at this weight. 100. I weighed in 106.4 kilos, which was very significant for my body weight. Um, yeah, it was very significant. It was big. I feel really bloated and fat, like a strongman kind of thing. Yeah, it was awesome. There he is, Jake Ward, the Aussie arm wrestler. He said, "You were amazing. You killed the commentary. Very smart and technical, intelligent arm wrestling. It was an honor to see it, mate. Thank you, Jake Ward." And Jake Ward works so tirelessly, guys. Please do go subscribe to the Aussie Arm Wrestler. He was your MC tonight, and he did a fantastic job. He works so tirelessly. The dude's literally getting on a plane in a couple of hours' time. Um, Amazing, amazing effort and work from you, brother, this weekend. I have nothing but admiration for you as a person and your talents as well. You will be back. You crushed it this weekend. Your work ethic is second to none. Yeah, can't say enough good things about the Aussie Arm Wrestler. Please do go subscribe to his channel. Reba with a $5 super chat says weighing in at 614 kilos. Right, Bowen, yeah. That was one of the good lines from Jake. Ban us. What's your take on the Khaled Kings move versus Schoolboy and the foul system that's policing it? Is it fair to say the current foul system made it worth it to take the foul to gas out Schoolboy? Um, yeah, like the Kings moving stuff here. Khaled stays in a he does attempt, he does go below the table and a number of times, which if you're past the center of the table is okay, but he flirts with it on the defensive sense. But he has a very resilient arm and elbow when he's in that position. That's what I found, and it's difficult to pin him in that circumstance. But he is impressive in that, and he does have a resilience there that surprises you. It just doesn't. Um, it just doesn't die off. So it's pretty cool. Um, will I do some MMA slash BJJ with Khaled? Look, on Monday, I am catching up with Khaled. We are going to do some grip stuff. We're going to go through all his grip lifts and see what I can lift. But there may be that opportunity. I would personally love to roll with him now that I know Khaled a little better. I trust him. I think he's a good dude. I do trust him because he could hurt me. I'm sure in the ring, in the MMA ring. And so before I'm gone, I may do that. I may get into the cage with Khaled and just roll and learn from him because I have no skill in that. But it would be, I think it'd be a shame of me if I didn't take the opportunity to do something like that with Khaled, given that is a passion of his. Why not? We'll see how we go. Yeah, what else we got? Awesome stuff. How did you accept to pull a guy who just blah, 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 blah. Cardian wants to call me a clown. Good on you, Cardian. You go do your thing. I'll go do mine. See you later, buddy. Um, yeah, Hush 416 says, imagine being punched by a hand the size of Khaled's. His fists are the size of your head. Yeah, they are. They're big fists, and he's got opportunities, genetic opportunities in more than one sport. So it's pretty impressive when you meet him. Yeah, it's special. And we got another super chat in from Matthias Golek. He says, "Good job, Brian, on your win with Khaled. Haters are gonna keep talking crap, but you did great. Whole event was sick, worth the money. Thank you for all, man. Thank you, Matthias Golek, for the US $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate the support. Like I said, I'm really grateful to everybody who did support the pay-per-view. The haters can keep hating, and I'm just gonna keep rolling forward, doing my thing, and we'll just keep on going. They're gonna struggle a little longer. They're gonna have to just." I don't know, go do what they do, whatever it is. The sport is a passion of mine. I love it, and I love the community. I love that it's called a career. I love that I get to commentate and compete. It's something that I'm truly grateful for. So they can keep doing what they're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll all move forward. And they can scurry on off and do whatever in their basements that they do. What else we got? So Jiri Prina says Khaled has said that he wants to fight you fresh, and next after that he wants to fight Michael Todd. Khaled has also said he will beat Todd easily if he is fresh, and doesn't even need to train. I think some of those comments relative to Michael Todd might be prior to tonight. I doubt he would have said that after, but he certainly did say to me that he would like fresh. So I'm happy to do that. Why didn't we carry on till 6-0? I haven't watched the event yet, but imagine he gave up. Yeah, he conceded and just couldn't pull. I was flash pinning him by then, and I offered to pull slow with him in a hook. I said we can just ease in, but he said no. He said you have beaten me. I'm finished. Um, who would Ian E says, Ryan, who would you like to see dance pull at King of Table 6? I would like to see him pull John Brzenk. If I could pick an opponent for Dennis, that'd be John. I think Legends match. Why not? Legends match. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, I've been on for 37 minutes. The time for me is 3:30 in the morning. I'd like to give my son a call and my daughter a call, my wife a call, my mum and dad a call. So I might wrap it up. And I haven't even seen the matches back or anything like that yet. I'd like to go and as I drift off to sleep, maybe have a look at the pay-per-view and watch it back and listen to the commentary and all that sort of stuff, see how it all looked. But man, once again, guys, thank you so much. Please hit the like button on this video before you disappear for me. That'd mean plenty to me. But thank you so much for all the people who super chatted tonight. Thank you for all the people who were in the pay-per-view. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the kind words. They all mean a lot to me, and I'll continue to roll forward on this journey as both an arm wrestler and as a commentator, and yeah, really enjoy every part of it. So, guys, once again, thank you for joining me for the live. We'll do more tomorrow. Got heaps. Like I said, I'm gonna do a podcast with Devin. I mean, not Devin, Dennis, and I'll hopefully pull with Dennis. I'll also do the same with Larry. I'll pull with Larry, and plenty more to come. All right, guys. Good night.